Good morning. It is Friday, fun day, and you are at the Success Secrets for Business, Family, and Life channel. I'm Vickie Helm, and I have my compadre on Fridays. Mr. Scott Stevens is with us. Good morning, my friend.
Not me.
That's right. You're here. Sorry, you got to suffer with me.
Oh, that's why I got up early.
Okay, this is the Coffee Break Show, and I'm glad you're joining us today. And I can hear him. Tell him I can hear him, and the broadcasting room, quiet.
He had no idea because it hasn't come up yet. And we're just a little, well, right there's the top of the hour, right there, something like that.
Hey, good morning, everyone. So this is the Metadime Digital Network, and we are obviously getting our broadcasting and networking tweaked so that we can all be here. I'm so glad you're here with us today. Listen, on Fridays, we try to have a fun day. We try to have fun topics, but I just have to start out today with this 750 million genetically engineered mosquitoes that are going into Florida. What is that?
I'm not a fan of the mosquito. I'm just straight up not a fan of the mosquito. Just about every other insect I don't have an issue with. They have a purpose and place in life. But the mosquito, I still question why they're here.
I know. I agree with that. It's good morning. It's fantastic Friday with the dynamic duo. Thank you. I like being the dynamic duo. But so anyway, as we look at these new things, and you know what? If it was like 1980 and they had 750 million genetically engineered mosquitoes, I might not be so alarmed. But right now it's 2020. And what does it mean to be genetically engineered as a mosquito right now? Are
we better at this than we were 40 years ago, say in 1980? Or are there other agendas, or has the agenda always been the same? I don't know. Either way, if it works, fabulous. Then they figured out how to genetically engineer the mosquito, and then it probably will become a tool of war, considering who's doing it.
I don't know. Yeah. It's definitely something that I'd be looking for. Listen, I see you guys coming on. Do me a favor, put your name down below. And if you're new here, welcome. We go live Monday through Friday, and we share tips, tools, techniques. We share inspiration, motivation, humor, news. We have a lot of things that we share, and we do this to create thrivability in your life. And we're so glad you joined us. And if you're regular here, put your name down below so that we can go ahead and say hi to you and know you. Just above here, just above this, screen up here, you're going to see something that says StreamYard StreamYard.com. Just click on that and push the blue button, and it will allow me to see your name. So when it comes up like this, we can see your picture here, and we know who you are, and we can have a conversation and say hello to you and good morning. And so today, Fridays are fun days. We talk about the wrap up of the week. And this week we are looking at fires. We looked at floods. We talked about the cycle. Good morning, Vickie and Scott. Look who's with us today.
Is that Jane?
That's right. That's Jane.
How's the air where you breathe this morning, Jane?
Yeah, it's smoky, isn't it? It's got to be smoky where you are too. It's smoky over here. What can I say?
I cannot see the other side of the valley. Try as I might.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we're looking at fires everywhere. California, oh my gosh, some of the pictures of the fire funnels that have gone up. It is just unbelievable. And also Colorado. Colorado has got a fire that is so big. It's nearing the record of being the largest fire in history. Prior to that, was it the Hayman fire that was the largest fire?
Yeah, I do not know my Colorado fire history as well as some other states where I had longer residence. So, but it was.
I think the Hayman fire is the one that was on. Jane says this morning, of course, we figured that too. It's very smoky.
Yeah.
And that would make sense to me. Let's see. It is to break down or disrupt the cycles of life. Yes, they are one of the most lethal airborne vector viruses carriers in the world. That's true. And you know what? I got to say, if we had less mosquitoes, I wouldn't be upset about that.
Yeah, they're like little genetic engineers with their little, they come in and they land and then they punch around and go sawing inside your flesh looking for a vein, and they got it, and then they extract it and then share it with the next ones. Yeah, they're little like little genetic engineers on wings.
Yeah. So, having those break down, it's how they're doing it. We're going to see more of these kind of type things. But today, I woke up feeling hopeful about the world. I actually got up this morning thinking, it looks like a black hole, but if you're building a new building, if you're building a gorgeous building and you have to knock the other building down first, it looks like everything's in rubble because it is in rubble. And you have to remove the rubble out of the way, but then you have a clean place where you can begin to rebuild. And it's the rebuilding that made me feel hopeful. Now, Tracy's, did you watch Tracy's Unlocked show yesterday?
Yes, I got the most of it. I was out with the hounds and then came back. I'm like, Tracy.
Yeah. So in her show, she made a couple of statements that I thought were super good, super profound, and really something that was needed in the world. And what she talked about was not just your messaging in the world, but she talked about, rebuilding something new, rethinking, regrowing, and actually allowing that past to kind of just fall to the side. And what we've noticed about now is there are zero. I don't care who you are. I don't care how famous you are. I don't care how many degrees you've had. I don't care if you're a laureate professor, blah, blah, blah. Nobody has been through what we're going through right now. There's nobody that out there right now that can say, yeah, I have, more than a decade of pandemic economy experience. Yeah, I've been through these weather changes that we're going through that are just being hellish on our crops and our food production. I've been through that. And, I've been on through that. There's no experts here. None, zip, nada. It is a whole open world right now. And we talked about that this week a lot, especially on your show. Mm-hmm. Another perspective was really spot on this week, especially talking about the solar, what did you call it? Solar minimum.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's not accepted as a fact by the mainstream. And even those that are willing to talk about it, their, let's just say, position is that the CO2 in the atmosphere will compensate or more than compensate for it. So there's no reason or need to change directions, need to change policy, We'll see. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, that's the only thing you can do.
But we're a population of 7 billion people. And how quickly can we turn policy? How quickly can we retool the planet and still maintain an ability to feed everyone with this kind of a demand on the environment? And my opinion is that it's not possible, and that we need to be a little more aware of what's happening and make contingencies. Even if we still believe global warming is happening, there has to be a minority report. There has to be this other agenda, this other working group to talk about how to redeploy. And if we're writing checks, hey, we're writing really big, what is it, 3 comma club or 4 comma club checks?
Yeah,
if you want to go down that road, I mean, these are really, really big checks. So
I want to let the person that thinks this is a replay know you're with us and you're live. We'd love to know if this is Ryan right here, who this is. Welcome. It's Jeff. You're actually in the live. Jeff, nice to see you.
Good for you, Jeff.
Yeah. So, and I take a look at our future, and part of me feels it's like when you have a clean slate, you can create anything. Yeah. And part of the opportunity is not waiting for them, whatever them is. We always say whatever, when they bring back manufacturing to our country, who's the they? Yeah. Well, we the people are the they. Yeah. So I'm part of we the people that the they. So I get to make some new choices as well. And that's what made me feel hopeful. There's something about having a new idea or a new way of thinking or a new perspective or another perspective other than what you have. You get fresh eyes when you look at the world. And if you can stay with your fresh eyes and allow an idea through you, not try to think of an idea. If you think of an idea, you think you're past, right?
Or own it when it does come through. Mm-hmm. Because then it's not yours. It's just given for you to be a conduit for.
That's right. And you can empower others
Yep.
to help you with that.
Yep.
And so we always see rebuilding as like, oh, damn, it's like a game of Jenga. Oh, there goes our economy. It fell again. And so we have like this Jenga game, and people are like, I can pull this corruption and look, that doesn't, oh, I can pull this corruption and look, or I can put in a place. And finally, at the end of it, when the economy falls, we always think it's a bad idea. Oh, God, the economy fell. But what if it's an opportunity?
Yep.
What if it's a hidden thing?
Well, and we're to the point where we've, you and I, at least, I can't speak for anyone else, like to point the fingers, or at least there is a group of people that take responsibility for the economy by setting the price of money, and more accurately, setting the price of access to currency. And, there's this administration has a gal up to sit on that board who is an ardent gold standard, and yet the heresy of it all questions whether we need a central bank at all. And so to begin to put this kind of dissenting voice on that, embedded in that kind of institution, to me is exciting. It's like you need to have anti-war people in the Pentagon. You need that. You need to have
peace,
naturopaths.
People want peace.
Yes, in the FDA. You need to have embedded in these institutions these kind of contrarian points of view, so people just think. Because if you're living in an echo chamber and you shout down, deride those kind of people who are independent free thinkers, and those who can step out of the box and take the criticism, they're strong people, and you want those on your team. So I part of me, this is an exciting time, because do we need a central bank? Yeah. Do we need them to manage our currency and, by policy goal of 2% inflation, ruin its buying power by nearly a quarter every decade? Yeah. No, I think there's better ways to do things. And if the economy were to break, I'm sure we would have something to say about this.
We definitely have. The thing about the economy is we always think that the economy is outside of ourselves. Like, we can't create our own economy. Well, that's not true. We can always create our own economy. You can unhook yourself from systems that are already there right now. You can say, I don't want to play anymore.
You are your own economy.
That's right.
You choose how to spend your money, how to save it, where to save it, who to use and who to buy from. You are your own economy. We have just been herded like sheep into a pen and given few exits out of this economy. So yeah, we have that responsibility. We're just not always brave enough to take it.
Yes. And I like this right here, what Donnie says. Weather and severe economic issues have happened before, but unfortunately, many have forgotten, and those that did experience it are gone. And so so is their wisdom, unless their children actually listen to the stories. I mean, we're going through that all the time. And it's like, that's some of the things that people don't really remember is the wisdom of their grandparents. And so often we think, because we're so technologically advanced, that what our grandparents knew was useless. And that's not true. No. And right now, their wisdom is actually some of the most important thing we can pay attention to right now. Hey, nice to see you on, Stephen. I like this. You have a paradigm flexibility. You have an imagination. You see possibilities. If you think outside of the box, you may get fired. Yes, if you do think out of the box and you do get fired, it's time. It's like a big thing to say, it's time to unhook from the systems. And you know what? I remember when I decided to unhook from the systems. I kind of was raised unhooked from the system. That's how I was.
Any of her books, she was.
Then I hooked myself up to the system because I wanted to be normal. And then I quickly, within a 5-year period, unhooked myself back from these systems because I just didn't fit into that little box. Yeah. And, I just don't fit into the box of having a job and not living, there are some people that are happy with the job, that a job is perfect for them, that a job is absolutely, they are key players in why companies work well. But I was not one of them. I'm a renegade.
Handsomely for it too. If they do good work and they're kind of on the
Yes.
edge and able to push the departments that they're in or the objectives of the company forward in very progressive ways, then they're rewarded for it and they're a perfect fit until they aren't.
I like this, Robin. Having these systems fail, shatter, break down gives us the opportunity to look for better, more efficient systems from government, post office, schools, and learning. Yes, isn't this what's happening now? We get to retool the whole thing and make it better, stronger. Sometimes things have to fall apart to be rebuilt. Sometimes they just have to be. Have you ever had one of those things where everything just has to be taken apart to fix the heartbeat of something? Then you put it back together and it runs better, runs smoother. We're the same operators.
Cyclically, that's often war.
That's unfortunate.
But
there's got to be a better way.
Yeah, I mean,
all the mamas out there, stand up. We do not want to put our sons and daughters at that risk.
But that what they did to Japan became a manufacturing giant afterwards. Same with Germany, and leveraging what is already good about those people for production. So yeah, there is an incredible cost with the reset, an incredible cost. It is very, very expensive, but in many ways it does throw away the old paradigm because obviously it had issues and we fought about it.
Yeah, I'm like looking at some of the things that are going to come out and I'm actually excited. Then there's some of the things that are coming out make me a little bit nervous, and the future is so unknown. But today I felt like if I had to explain the energy, it's like everything caught the virus and it got sick and we have to put our economy on a ventilator and now I feel like we finally turned a corner. I don't know what I mean by that, but what I mean by turning a corner is I think that there are so many entrepreneurs right now that are stepping up. Yeah. And I know a lot of you think, well, my business is just small. I'm just a solopreneur. Your business, I don't care how small it is, it makes a difference in the world. It makes a huge difference in the world. And right now, what we need are the populace of entrepreneurs literally to come together and start that home-based business, to start that garage business, to start that online business, to start that 3D printing business, that manufacturing business, these things that are coming. And unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be a lot of capital for them. I don't think people are going to come along and say, well, here's some credit. I don't think that's happening. But ingenuity is high.
How did it happen a century ago?
Yes, without credit.
Yeah, it did. You had friends, you had connections or not, but you could begin a business in 1910 in aviation for $10,000, for $5,000. You could do it. And it appears that this is the way it's going to go back because the free flowing credit, again, always in cycles, up and down and up and down. But will the mechanism that has been opening the spigot still be there on the other side of this reset? And in my eyes, I don't think there is no guarantee that it will be. We might be using a different kind of medium of exchange. And if that is the case, then the banks and the system as we know it will not be there. Probably for better. Probably for better because it's that mechanism that has fought the wars.
Yeah, I know, because we're about ready to take the rubble and but I felt a sense of hope in the possibility that things aren't as bad as we think they are because we doubt. The reason we think they're so bad is because we doubt the spirit of the people. And in that doubt, we forget that there are quiet leaders leading right now that don't need to be like, hi, I'm the leader. We have people out there beginning stuff because they just want to make a difference in the world, because they want to help their neighbor, because they want to do something. It's starting right now. And I somehow could feel that spirit of that patriotism.
Yeah, they're compelled to because it's their purpose. And when you've got a purpose in life, you can't avoid the responsibility of the given purpose.
That's right. And one of the purposes right now is that you get to choose your sense of meaning.
Yeah, largely. certainly the one given to you, you will also have been given the talents and the gifts and the means of accomplishing that. That's just part of the divine aspect of it all.
Yeah.
So then, why would you be given the talent of being a woodworker or an electrical engineer, but without the gifts to accomplish your potential? And then, because it's all one gloriously beautiful interconnected system.
Yeah.
It gets me excited.
It does. It does.
does.
I really feel like, I got to move this out of the way here. There's this sense of optimism because there's so many new things coming up. Yes, there's a lot of things dying. Yes. I think we focus sometimes on, hey, wait a minute, that's my car, that's my life, that's my everything is here. And now it's just shattering. And I don't know what to do. Well, of course you don't know what to do. Look at what you're telling yourself.
Yeah.
You're telling yourself, I don't know what to do. And your brain's complying. We don't know what to do. I guess we stop here. But if you say, I wonder what's next. I wonder where, grace shows up. Grace shows up at moments where we are most fearful or things don't look normal. Grace shows up. You have to be able to see it though.
Yep.
And grace doesn't show up outwardly. Grace shows up inwardly.
Yep. It's an inner strength.
Yes. Yeah. Where am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to go now? What do you want me to do? If you surrender to that grace, it'll lead you right out of what you see as chaos.
The chaos.
Into your new life.
Yeah.
Into
and
that.
It's all in front of you. It's just being able to relax, be still, and then see it. It's there. It's just there. And maybe just a little different perspective, come at it from this way. And then there's a way through that you can't see because it's blocked because of this obstacle that's over here.
Yeah.
It's kind of curious. I think we need to build Don a root cellar.
I think we do. I think that's there. He's really into the root cellar there. I see that.
Or like we could send it back in time to about 1890. And but running water wasn't quite a thing then, even though the Romans had worked it out a millennia before or two.
So here, if you drive around the old neighborhood, you can see them, and they do work. They just have to be reutilized.
Tornado shelter.
These are on my mind due to our friends had a very difficult time finding a new refrigerator. They were informed some may not be available till at least October or January. The key words here are may or may not. And I agree with that. I'm not sure they're going to be up after those floods. It's also, it's not a root. It can be a root cellar and a greenhouse. Those are things we need. Yes, grace is always there. You just have to hear it, see it, recognize it. The subtle is the most powerful. That's where we're kind of moving into, that little subtle energy, instead of it being some sort of large, big sign. We're looking at grace being a subtle force, and it comes with gratitude. And I want to tell you something that has really helped me. And I'm just going to say this for myself. If you haven't tried a gratitude journal, pick one up and start it. Just, remember to be grateful every single day. I mean, if you are looking at gratitude, what you're doing is retraining your mind. And the reason sometimes things become chaotic is because we're doing what Albert Einstein said. It's like you can't use the same mind that created the problem to solve the problem. You have to evolve that mind. And this is where we are right now.
And in that tender place allows that stillness, allows that subtleness to appear. And because you're I don't want to say you're almost weepy, but Vickie would say, my heart is in my throat.
That's right. I would say
that's where gratitude puts you.
That's right.
In that is where a creation, a more beautiful, a more complete creation can happen, is in that tenderness.
Yes.
Because otherwise it's anger, it's fear, and then you're asking why.
Yeah.
And the why you've got to step back from, and it's probably been very, very clear in front of you the whole time.
That's right.
And when you come at it with a gratitude to see what it has brought you, then the understanding of the experience becomes clearer.
Yeah, we don't understand sometimes that we make things complicated unnecessarily.
Almost always.
Yeah, we always do.
Almost always.
Sometimes we just want to rely on our own thinking, and that's it. It's like there's nothing else other than thinking. There's so much more than thinking that helps us derive a quality of life where we don't have to think so much. Like, what if I told you there is something inside you that is always guiding you, except you may not be listening to it unless it's an emergency. It's like when your mind can't figure it out, then you're willing to go in. Or if there's an emergency, suddenly something in you is warning you. It's like there's a warning or an emergency, and then you use it. Well, what if you could use that all the time? What if it wasn't just there for emergencies or warnings?
Life would be easier.
Yeah. What if it just told you, this is where you need to go, this is what you need to do? And what if you surrendered to that and just followed it? What would life be like if you knew that there was something that had everything already for you?
Yep. It's already there.
Walk. Yeah. It's already here. That making it complicated, we say stuff like, I got to figure this out. Or, all right, let's put our brains together and let's think about this. Or, we keep using only one part of our mind, and we have habits. We're like, well, I've always had a job, therefore I got to go find a job. When something inside you may be saying, no, don't go get a job. Let's try your first, at home or online or whatever you're doing business, or something that's saying, okay, you've had a job. Let's try to unhook ourselves from the system and have a business as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there's opportunities there. And when you're in that place, though, when you're afraid, you don't know what to do, it's tough to not feel the responsibility to try to figure it out yourself. That weight has always been there, and you don't know a different approach. And that's, I've been there. You're like, I don't know what to do. But then do you admit to yourself or out loud or ask someone else, something else, I don't know what to do. I need a little help right here. And,
yeah.
As religious as I was growing up, it's not a power that I surprisingly relied upon until much, much later in life to realize there's something outside of yourself. No, because the prayers were so ritualistic.
Rote.
And that turned me off. It's like, what's the point?
I know. I think those prayers are inauthentic then.
Yeah, they are. They're a must do. They're a have to. And it's the same thing over and over and over again. Then they feel better about themselves for doing it.
Yeah, it's more like you don't even have to be present. You're just like, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. You're just blah, 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 blah.
Amen.
Where are you when talking to the divine? Yeah. Where are you when that happens? You're just rote.
You're performing for others.
Yeah, and that sense of meaning comes from being actually connected. It's interesting because I think this situation, when we are in the unknown, uncertain collapse, is asking us to rise above it, not choose a side, not try to figure it out, not succumb to the pain, not any of that, but actually rising above it. And to rise above it, we need a level of discernment. And what I like about discernment is that it's not just thinking. You see, your gut check is as powerful as the thoughts in your head. That instinct inside your heart, that inner voice that is telling you no, or yes, yes. That inner voice, that inner thing, that has, I think, more power than our thinking does. I think our thinking should help this inner voice in the way it's supposed to. It's like, if it says left, then you're looking this way to make sure that when you cross the street, you're safe. That's what your thinking mind should do. Add, subtract, negotiate, use your eyes, and then your wisdom and your discernment inside leads you forward.
And if you're in a panic situation, none of that is available.
That's true.
It's not there, because then you're stuck in that emotional band of I can't, I don't, help me, but I can't help myself kind of scenario. It's really kind of a difficult place to
That's
be.
a tough place to be. And the way when I fall into that, what I do for myself is I ask myself, this is fall down. The first thing I do, if I'm panicked, I'm like, oh my God, I'm fearful. That's the first thing. You have to come in and say, oh my God, I'm fearful. Then the next thing I do is I say, what am I telling myself? And I listen inward, and your fear will talk to you. It'll say, I don't think I can, or I don't know what to do. And I think to myself, as soon as I say that, oh, I'm saying I can't do that. And then what I say is, well, no wonder why you're scared. Look at what you're saying to yourself. Your brain complies with whatever you tell it to do. If you tell it to shut down, it will. If you tell it to open up, it will. If you tell it to expand or raise up in consciousness, it will. It does what you tell it to do. But who's the you that's telling it what to do?
Yep.
That's the person in charge.
That's the great undiscovered country.
That's right. And in that undiscovered country, in that undiscovered mind, when I say that, I always say to myself, I say it out loud, no wonder why you're worried. No wonder why you're afraid. Look at what you're telling yourself. And you know what? The truth is, anybody would be as scared as you are if they were telling themselves the same thing.
Yeah. And it's an easy place to be.
So you get sucked into your mind, and your mind starts churning, and it doesn't let the answer button. It's like, you have a panic button, you have an answer button inside you as well. And you get to choose which button you want to push.
Yeah. You've got a button under your desk. I saw it the other day. Yeah, that one.
That's the cha-ching button.
Oh.
Yeah, the one I got from Joel Comm, who was on the show a few weeks ago. Dear friend, love him to death, and I have everything by him because I love his brand so much. Yeah. I love his, everything. So one of the things he got these made in China back then. They were cha-ching buttons, and I like them because he actually has it in an app too. So every time I made a sale online when I wasn't paying attention. Back in the day, you used to have to go back and see how many sales came in. But with the app, every time a sale came in, it sounded like this. God, isn't that the best sound ever? So yeah, we would bring that up, and I'd know a sale came in. So that's how I keep track of it. But this came with his ka-ching book.
It's very different than a PayPal button today.
Yes, a PayPal button is like, it's lovely. I love the PayPal button, especially when I'm getting a sale.
It's a silent push notification.
Yeah, it is. It's very silent. So I want to go over here because everybody's been talking.
They're still chatting away. Risa's aboard.
Risa. I'm late. I'll watch the replay. That's okay. You're here, and we love that you are. And I know that like this. I like this. Memorize prayers are obligations, but nothing is gained. Yes, I think that is true. Within all of us is great, never-ending potential. Yes, that is true. And you know what? To understand that is to really be able to change your life at a moment's notice. We can solve, create, and recreate everything. I am the solution. Be still. Yes, I am. That full stop right there. Whatever you put after the I am, that's what manifests. Can't touch any of your resources when you're in a panic mode. That's really true. And I got to tell you, for those people who have panic attacks, I first want to say, I'm sorry. To me, those are a trip to hell, the panic attack. When you're having a panic attack, and I try this all the time, when you're having a panic attack, one of the things that helps is a hug. Like if you could just find somebody to hug you, and I mean really tight, because panic attack, your body and everything else is like, oh my God, I'm going to die. And you can just whisper in somebody's ear if they're having a panic attack.
It's its own kind of time out.
Not on my watch, you're going to die. I'm here with you.
You sound good right there.
And I'm going to be, it's my 900 voice.
Yeah, you sound good.
Thank you. So, if you're having a panic attack or you're so fearful, you need somebody who's going to understand that it's okay to be in fear. If you're not grounded, you need somebody to just grab a hug from somebody who's going to hug you tight and be able to really be with you and through that attack, because it'll calm down in a bit. But at first, you have so much chemical in your body from that panic attack. It's like you're drunk on fear. It's not that you're fearful. It's that you're drunk on fear and no reason can come in. And sometimes it helps to have somebody who will be your reason for you for a minute. And I think that is important. You guys are talking so fast.
We've kind of had go ahead. We've had this like practice run with everything that's happened to the world in the last 8 months. Probably just a little something extra coming on board, ready to test us. I saw a cute little quote the other day. And the reason you don't hear God's voice is that it's a test. The teacher doesn't talk during the test.
Yes.
I thought that was like, oh, that's kind of,
That's
and I
really
butchered
nice.
it, but the concept is there.
Yes. You know, I have been, I want to talk about, I'm going to move the topic completely.
Yep.
You can see it. Can you understand it? Can you be in the navigator of it? Yes. This is the big thing we're learning right now. I mean, I got to be honest. It's scary to lose everything. It's scary. You don't know what's happening, where to go. There's a lot of tension right now with people around the world who are, you know, not doing well, and they have no career or job. Jobs are getting scarce. There's still the possibility of getting sick. There's still the possibility of somebody getting you sick at like school or work or whatever. It's chaos right now. And the only way is back to the center, back to the center, back to the center. And I want to tell you, it's like, it's a practice to do this. So I don't want to say my life is perfect. I have some stuff in my life that could, you know, easily take me to panic, but I have no intention of moving the center of me and giving my peace away to anyone, not to anyone. And it's weird to be able to trust the process when you don't know how to trust it.
Unless that folder on your computer all of a sudden isn't there, and that has all of your work in there from the last 8 months.
Those things have happened. You're like, oh my gosh, can I save that work?
Where's that undo button? I need a do-over. I
know. It's like, so this year I told everybody here, some jerk in the world broke into a cryptocurrency platform and took 40% of my portfolio. And, you know, for me, I was like, okay, they must have needed it. To me, I don't think any things happen randomly. And how I react to that, I was like, okay, so I just got to make 40% more on something else. I mean, there's got to be a solution in your mind for how you think and how you operate and how things work out for you based on what it is you tell yourself. And those telling yourself things, you have to be super, super clear about. So we're rolling into the, 45-minute mark for a 30-minute show. But here's what I want to say. The fires in California, the fires in Colorado, they're wreaking havoc, and they're a way of unnecessary. It's like we have to clean up the mess. And this is nature's way of doing it. It's horrific in our minds because, it's such destruction when it looks like that. The earth in her floods, fires, tornadoes, and everything else right now, I think is trying to clean things up. And sometimes that thing may hit you, whether it's a fire or a tornado or a flood or whatever. And I don't have inspirational words for you. I just have that I'm praying for you, or that I'm thinking of you as you go through this. I have friends in Santa Cruz that are
south of the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place is lit up today.
Yeah, it is. It's a lightning strike. And when there's a lightning strike, actually, we just went through on our amazing fire department that we had a lightning strike hit our mountains and an area caught fire.
73 acres.
Yeah. And it was 16 stations. I think it was
Yeah,
16
16
fire.
crews came in.
16 crews came in to put it out before it spread, and they saved our homes because you could see the fire with your naked eye. That's how close it was to us. And during that time, I could feel oh my God, what am I going to do? How are we going to
Yep.
do this? Let's
Panic.
deploy this. Yeah, we got it all together. And for
And
those,
we
go
wouldn't
ahead.
have that kind of response had the fire or the lightning hit last night, because we
Yeah.
had thunder, lightning last night and the night before, because everything is occupied. All resources are deployed. And
Yes.
California has access to inmate labor, tens of thousands of man hours available. You have to get them out, suit them up, put them on the lines, and they can do the grunt labor. Most of them are in pretty good shape. And that just isn't possible with COVID right now. So the fire lines are stretched thin. And we lost a helicopter 2 days ago with a crash and a fatal with a pilot. There's too much. There's too much. And our firefighting equipment is, especially the air assets, are just archaic.
Yes. And we look at that. My son is a captain in Westminster, Colorado. Thank you for your service. Thank you for his service. That is, yeah, I bet you are. I mean, this is some of the times I wish I had more inspiring words. All I can say is that we're with you. We're thinking of you. We're praying for you. We are doing that as well in Colorado. We are doing that for the farmers in Iowa. We're doing that for the flood victims in India and in China and any other event that has created homelessness overnight.
We're in
Any of those.
2020. It's apparently all the cards are on the table. How do we use those cards and put together a winning hand?
You know, it was interesting. I remember in January, I was born in the year of the rat. So I was like, oh my God, it's the year of the rat. It's going to be such a great year. And then I was like,
You're not wrong.
man, I don't want to tell anybody I was born in the year of the rat. Oh my God, this is apocalyptic right now.
Yeah.
And so I look at that and know that the world feels apocalyptic. But what I want to say to you is it's Friday. And I feel grateful for what I have. And I feel grateful, honestly, that we're friends and we get to do this
Yep,
show on
we do.
Friday. I love it. And
It
it's
works.
really fun. Yeah, it
Otherwise,
does.
I'd have to be doing it from San Juan, and that wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't. It would be hotter.
It would be hot. Oh my God.
There'd
There'd
be
be constant drone of air conditioning back there.
That's right. But I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're back. And
Me too.
I can't wait for all the adventures we have coming up. So
Oh my goodness.
listen, on Monday, we are going to be rocking and rolling and having some fun. I can't even wait to talk to you about what we're going to talk about, but I can't tell you right now. It'll be the Monday coffee break show with you. You guys have a really, really great weekend.
Let's go dig a root cellar.
Yes, let's go dig a root cellar. All right, you guys, peace out. Mwah! Talk to you later.
See you later.
Bye. Now, this is going to go. Come on now. It doesn't want us to get off the air. Hey, we're